Fate is a legend in Overwatch esports, and after 6 years of competing, the greatest of main tanks has officially retired. While he's chosen a path away from the Overwatch League and its uncertain future, his imprint on its history cannot be understated. Fate is, was, and always will be an Overwatch great, and this is why. Throughout Overwatch's esports history, there has not been a role that has been more mistreated and misjudged than tanks. We live in a world where flexibility at tank is not just to be applauded, but award-worthy. Ask yourself this: how many metas has Fate truly slumped in? Prior to the league's launch, Fate was the spearhead for the plucky underdogs on mighty AOD. It was those performances on a team worth more than the sum of its parts that would lead him to the North American hopefuls on Immortals that would eventually become the Los Angeles Valiant. This saw traditional main tanks like Winston and Reinhardt stand front and centre as staple picks at the time. Picks Fate was well above average at piloting, but much more than that, you have his performance on Wrecking Ball during one of the most dominant Grand Finals performances in Overwatch history, alongside Shanghai Dragons. Chip in his spare time on picks like Orisa alongside the Florida Mayhem, and you've got yourself a not so subtly flexible tank player. But that isn't the only thing that makes Fate great. The largest argument in favour of his Hall of Fame deserving career has been something that might have flown under some radars. Western fans will celebrate Fate as an Overwatch League world champion, fair enough, but winning a world championship isn't the only metric for success. While Fate has accomplished what some can only dream of, his career is just as legendary for its continuity and its longevity. 6 years competing in any esport is near miraculous, often unheard of, but it feels like a lifetime in Overwatch. With all of the different iterations of the game, the new heroes and rules that have bent, broken and reforged our game to not only survive but thrive in that kind of ecosystem is beyond many players' comprehension and ability. Across that much time, that many iterations and that many shifting rosters, Fate is among the upper echelon of the outest of outliers. Success as a tank can be quickly written off as the general success of your team. And sometimes that can be true, but after the time Fate has put in and the consistency he's been able to showcase, we're not so sure that luck is actually a driving factor here. During a livestream, Fate shared some of his experiences from that Championship Dragons roster and spoke on just how much luck factors into the equation. Whether or not it was talent or work ethic, 6 years of high-level competition doesn't just stem from some positive happenstance. To write off Fate's achievements as just dumb luck is not only wrong, it's pretty sad. We're constantly clued in on how stressful and involved being a professional in esports actually is. Sure, it sounds fun, you're playing games for a living, but the hundreds of hours of practice and the time spent reviewing VODs, studying your opposition and perfecting your own craft in pursuit of becoming the best, the life of a professional is incredibly difficult. Seneca might have been right when he said luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity, especially when you look at Fate's career now it's concluded. But to deny the role of any kind of fate in Fate's career would be just as foolish. Joining Shanghai when he did, coming towards the apex of their golden years and working their way to becoming the dominant force in the Overwatch League, yeah, could be argued there's an element of luck there, but he only got that move through hard work, perseverance, and a not insignificant level of skill. Truth is, we're all lucky. You need to know the right people sometimes to gain opportunities, but it's what you do with those chances that matters. We might argue that Fate was more talented than he maybe let on, or that his work ethic is what saw him become a champion, but the truly lucky ones are us, the fans who got to see Fate at the height of his powers. We had the privilege of witnessing an all-time great, year after year. We got to cheer him on through adversity and see him reach the summit, and whether Fate played its part or not, Fate the player deserved the gold medal. Fate should be, and rightly is, listed as one of the forefathers of modern tanks in Overwatch. Not just because he's a world champion and a skilled veteran of the space, but because those attributes and more make him a legend. To bet on yourself and believe that you can fight the current of hopefuls all attempting the same feat, trying to knock you off your perch, that's legendary. Lucky or not, Fate went into the casino of the Overwatch League and proved the house doesn't always win, and the league, and Overwatch esports in general, was all the better for it. As we stand on the precipice of an uncertain Overwatch League future, there is one thing we can be certain of. Overwatch the game wouldn't be the same without Fate.